Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have 4 different healthy dinner ideas for you. So we have been trying to make some lifestyle changes to just eat a little bit healthier, incorporate more fresh fruits and veggies, things like that. So we're gradually starting that. These aren't going to be perfectly healthy, but we're definitely trying to make some changes. So I think these will be perfect if you're looking for some nice little spring and summer healthy dinner recipes. I think these will be perfect for you. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Caitlin. I share a lot of really quick and easy recipes on my channel, crockpot dinners, and other food related content. So make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and get into today's video. For this first dinner, I'm making a loaded veggie couscous. Now this is something that I've never made before. I just kind of made it up on a whim, but both my kids and my husband really enjoyed it, so I think you guys would like it as well. So I'm just starting off by cooking up 2 cups of couscous according to the directions on the back of the package. So I'm adding in a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and then I did add just a little bit of some chicken bouillon just to flavor it just a little bit more. Add a little bit more salt, and then like I said, I'm adding in 2 cups of couscous here, and I just cooked that according to the directions on the back of the package. While I have my couscous cooking, I'm gonna get my other skillet ready for the chicken. So I'm just adding in a little drizzle of olive oil, about a tablespoon of butter. I really like that combination of both with chicken. It makes it a little bit healthier to not have all butter in there. And then I'm just seasoning this up with whatever I felt like. Definitely play around with this. I did a little bit of garlic powder, some onion powder, paprika. I also did a little bit of some oregano, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. But definitely play around with the seasonings here and just cook the chicken until it's all the way cooked through. After my chicken has completely cooked through, I'm just removing that over to a separate plate, and I'm going to use this pan to cook up my veggies in. So again, I'm just adding in a drizzle of olive oil, and then I'm also adding in a bunch of broccoli. You can definitely play around with the veggies here. I also added in about half of a cut up bell pepper, seasoned it a little bit with some salt and pepper. I did add in just a little bit of water to kind of help the veggies steam, but go ahead and season your veggies however you would like. I did add a little bit more garlic powder and paprika, but I went pretty light on the seasonings here, and I'm just gonna steam this up in my skillet. After my veggies had softened up a little bit, I'm just adding my chicken back in, and I'm just gonna let this warm up for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna be adding the couscous in and any of the extra seasoning that I want. Here is my cooked couscous. So this is a little bit different than any other type of pasta. So this will actually absorb all of the water. So you're gonna be left with almost like what you would be when you cook rice. The water should all absorb into the couscous. So just add that in with your veggies, a little bit of lemon juice in there, and then I added any of the extra seasonings that I wanted here. So like I said, you can really play around with the seasoning in this dish, add all of your favorites together, but this is a really great one for leftovers as well. It made quite a bit, and it was really good warmed up the next day too. For this next dinner, I'm making a really easy lemon pepper chicken, and all of this is done on a sheet pan. We really enjoyed this one. So I'm starting off by mixing up the breading for my chicken. So this is just 1/3 cup of some panko breadcrumbs with about 1/3 cup of some grated Parmesan cheese. And then I added in about a teaspoon of some lemon pepper, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm just mixing all of this together. This is going to be the breading for the chicken. Now into a separate bowl, I'm just whisking together 2 eggs. This is going to be what I use to coat the chicken before I add the breading on there. So just give all of that a quick whisk together. And then I'm taking all of my chicken and I'm adding that into the egg wash first. So this is just 2 chicken breasts that I cut in half so they're nice and thin. So coat them in that egg wash, and then I'm tossing them in my bowl of the breading mixture. And I'm just gonna shake all of that together. You can definitely coat this by hand if you want to, but shaking it is just a really nice and quick way to do it. Or of course you can toss it into a Ziploc bag as well, but I do try to save plastic where I can, so a lot of times I will use my big glass bowl, and that does the trick just fine. I'm just spraying my baking sheet with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm adding my chicken right on there. And then we're also going to prepare some green beans to add with this dish. Really great low carb option if you just want to do chicken and green beans, or you could pair it with some potatoes or garlic bread, something like that as well. But I'm just starting off with some fresh green beans, and then I'm adding this all-purpose grilling rub on there. It's basically just a heavy black pepper, salt, and some other miscellaneous spices, garlic and whatnot. I'm just tossing that together, and then I'm going to add it right onto my baking sheet as well. I cooked this in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes, and I did throw it under the broiler for just a couple minutes at the end just to kind of toast up the tops a bit. But this chicken was really, really good, a nice mild chicken. Both my husband and my kids really enjoyed it. Very great and budget friendly. I think you guys would really enjoy this one. For this next dinner, I'm making some chicken burrito bowls, and yes, I've shared this recipe with you before. It's definitely a favorite in our house. It's very quick and easy to put together. One of my favorites for a busy weeknight or when I don't know what to make, but it's also pretty healthy. So I'm gonna start off by cooking up my chicken. I just heated up a little bit of olive oil with just a little pat of butter, and then I'm adding in my cut up chicken breast. To season it, I'm just using my favorite Creole seasoning. Use whatever your favorite is. We really like this Tony's one, and then I'm also adding in some garlic powder, but definitely play around with the spices here. But I like to add a little bit of spicy flavor, but just not too much for my kids. And I'm just gonna cook that chicken all the way through. So cooking the chicken and the rice is really the main thing for this recipe. I always just cook my rice in the Instant Pot. I always use brown rice to make it a little bit healthier, and then it's just a matter of warming up any other toppings. So here I have some corn and some black beans. I cut up our lettuce, got your shredded cheese. You can do sliced avocado, tomatoes. You can literally add whatever you want, kind of like you would a salad. These are so good, a pretty nice easy option that are very tasty, very affordable, and they also make for really great leftovers to warm the chicken up for lunches throughout the week. So we really love making these burrito bowls. I always like to top ours with some salsa and some sour cream, but like I said, if you want something a little bit healthier, I would totally do salsa with avocado to get that extra creaminess in there. But you guys, these really are so delicious, very easy to make. I think you guys would really enjoy them. For this next dinner, I'm sharing our recipe for beef tacos, which I'm sure you all know how to make, but I'll show you how we make ours. And then I'm also going to show you how to make some refried black beans. So we're going to start off with that. So I'm adding in about half a tablespoon of some olive oil, heating that up, and then I'm adding in 1 can of some black beans. These are just your normal black beans that you get in a can. And then we're going to be adding some seasonings here. So this is a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, and some cumin. And then you're also going to want about an 1/8 teaspoon of salt and some black pepper. Of course, you can adjust all of those seasonings if you want, but that's going to be your base recipe. And then you're just going to mix all of that in, and you're going to cook this up for about 5 minutes to start. It's all going to come up to a simmer, and then we're going to mash those beans. After my beans hit the 5 or 6 minute mark, I just start taking my wooden spoon and I just kind of mash them against the side of the skillet. Now it might take a little bit longer just depending on how mashed you actually want your beans to be. If you want them to be super mashed, you may have to cook them a little bit longer, but you're basically just gonna keep mashing until you get the texture that you want them to be. And then you can go ahead and set them aside. And that is gonna be the beans for this recipe. They pair really well with tacos or on the side, any sort of dish where you want refried beans. These are really good and a much healthier option to what you would get in the can. So just to make my life a little bit easier, I'm just taking a washcloth and wiping out this pan a little bit because obviously I'm not worried about any sort of remnants from the beans in there. So I'm just making sure that all of the gunk is out. And then I'm going to use this pan for my ground beef for my tacos as well. So here I just added in 1 pound of some lean ground beef and I'm just kind of dicing that up. I'm also going to add in about half of an onion. You could do some green peppers here as well if you want to. Sometimes they will do that, but I just stuck with the onion on this night and I'm just going to cook this beef through. Now to season up my ground beef, I'm just adding in 1 package of taco seasoning mix. Sometimes I'll use a homemade mix, but I just want to keep it easy on this night. I'm also adding in about a 1/3 cup of some salsa, a little splash of water, and I'm just going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes, make sure everything is heated through, and then I'm good to go to make all of my tacos. So you guys know how to make tacos. Obviously, you're going to have your tortillas, put your meat in there, your cheese, sour cream, whatever you like to add. I thought it was so funny when I was editing this footage because I totally forgot to add black beans into my tacos, so I ended up having to add those later on. And then the black beans also make really good bean burritos for the next day. So that's a great idea for the leftovers if you have leftover refried beans. But these are just my tacos, really easy and basic, but our whole family really enjoys them, and I think they're pretty healthy. Also, you can sub the ground turkey if you want. If you don't like ground beef, or if you want something a little bit healthier, you can definitely do some ground turkey instead, but this is our tacos for this night. Well, that is going to wrap up all of these healthy dinner ideas. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I would love to have you over on my channel for more cooking content. But that is going to be it for today's video. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.